We are live. Yay. Hi,
Yay!
Kim.
Hi, Vicky. How are you?
Hey, I am good. And yourself?
I'm well, thank you.
Yeah, and all our seventh sisters out there, good
Yeah, hi
morning.
all.
Yeah, we're so glad
Yeah, it's
to
great
be
to
here
see you.
again. Yeah, and
Yeah,
it's so good to, even if we are friends in the digital sphere, it's good to connect with
absolutely.
each other. So,
Always,
yeah,
always.
yeah.
Yeah, yep.
So last time we got busy talking about career exploration because that is really important for young people as they're thinking about what's going to happen after high school. And if they
You
have
bet.
some kind of sort of answer when people start saying, "So what you going to do after high school?" during senior year constantly, it makes them feel a little better.
Oh,
So
yeah,
yeah. So
absolutely.
we were talking about a young person that we both know because heavens to Betsy, we know so many young people from all the years of homeschooling and through our own kids and all.
Yep.
So tell the story about this young person.
Sure. Yeah. So this friend of mine. So we were chatting the other night. So she's gone through, and she is absolutely passionate still about her career field.
Mhm,
Um, and she anticipated at some point probably going on for a PhD or an additional certification
mhm,
kind of thing.
mhm,
And now she's at the point in her life where she realizes, wow, okay, now she was really fortunate. She came through undergrad with zero debt, which is amazing, right?
mhm, mhm.
Um,
I hear puppy dog, by the
there
way.
is a puppy dog. Come here,
Yeah,
Jimmy. Yes, we have Jem who also does career exploration. Jemmy, come.
yeah.
There we go. You can
She's
see a little
your
bit of
new
him.
seeing eye pup, right?
Yeah, so he's a
Yeah.
seeing eye puppy, right? And he's
Mhm,
if they don't meet a good, if they're not a good candidate for being a seeing eye dog, so that could include if they don't want to work.
mhm.
Not all dogs are cut out to be working dogs, just like
Right.
humans are. We all have
Yep.
to work somehow, but some of
Mhm.
us are cut out for different kinds of work.
Yep.
So if he doesn't seem like he's a good candidate for a seeing eye dog, like if he really doesn't want to be a worker at all, they
Uh-huh.
let them go home and be a pet.
Uh-huh.
But if he seems like a worker, but he's not good to be a seeing eye dog, he can get options to be a worker as a police dog or military dog, all kinds of things. So dogs
Uh-huh.
do career exploration too.
That
There you
is so
go.
much fun.
Who knew, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Um, anyway, so back to our friend.
yeah.
Yeah, so now even just with a couple years of undergrad, I mean, with a couple of years of grad school, there is
Mhm,
a at a really top-notch school in the field. She's now looking at this mountain of debt,
mhm,
and she's looking at wanting to have, maybe do I want to have a family? Do I want what do I want my life to look like?
mhm.
And wow, how do I match these two things?
Yeah.
So she's just really trying to weigh out, does it make sense to go on for a PhD now and then start my family, in my early 30s? Or
Mhm.
does it make sense to do my family now? And if I do my family now, am I still really going to feel like doing a PhD is the right thing? So, kind of a lot of
Yeah.
career exploration happens at all levels, and
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
values are really important. It's not
Mhm,
just what you do in your career, but it's how
mhm.
your career affects your life, as you always
Yeah.
say. Yeah,
Yeah.
and how your life affects your career.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what, we always talk about in career exploration. Part of the exploration is the values.
Mm-hmm.
And for young people to know when you're in high school,
Mm.
when you're a ninth, 10th,
Yep.
11th, 12th grader,
Oh my.
you need to define your values, you need to clarify your interests and your gifts and
Yep.
all that,
Yep.
but you don't know the whole path ahead.
Oh no,
You do
not at
not,
all.
like, we roll our works over on God and he will direct our paths.
Yep.
So we find as humans that we are always going back and revisiting, what is God up to now, where
Oh
is
yeah.
he leading me, and that very often comes down to reevaluating the values again.
Amen.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
know I know this young person had done her career exploration and has an excellent degree and is well trained,
Hmm.
but she is also at that age where, when you're in 11th grade, you aren't thinking about how many kids I want.
Oh,
Like,
right,
do I
right.
want
Do you
kids?
even know if you want kids at that
Yeah,
age?
yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And a lot of young folks are like,
Yep.
I can't even think about that right now. And so
Absolutely.
that is okay. There's not one right way to do
Yay.
adulthood,
You
so
bet. Absolutely.
but as much as we can on each stage of life, we want to give them the tools
Mm-hmm.
um, that they can re-examine their values and clarify things so that they're not wasting useless time or
Yeah.
guilt tripping themselves into something that they will be absolutely miserable about. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
It's so important.
yeah. So
Yeah.
I thought I would pull up. I'll put links in the show notes to a post that kind of gives a list of values questions.
Mm.
Um, so our like we said last time, career exploration is kind of like a Venn diagram where you look at gifts and interests and experiences and values, and that's all part of this big thing. And you kind of, if you hit a sweet spot, you're probably going in the right direction. And so one of the things that you can ask yourself, teens can ask, and they may not know the answers to these questions,
Mm.
is what do I need as a family? Like, some kids can't wait to get married and have a family,
Yeah.
you know,
Yep.
and family time is going to be of high value. And
Mm.
so, so that's a question to ask, what does family look like to you as far as what you want right now? And,
Mm.
I mean, if you think about, can you think about any of your kids when they were in high school? Like some kids just, come to me and say,
Yeah.
I just want to be a mom,
Oh,
and
yeah. And I can think of kids right now that I know in our local homeschool umbrella school that,
mhm,
yeah, exactly. Like, I can't
yeah,
wait to be a mom and all that. And
mhm,
others are like, I want to do this and I want to do
mhm,
that. And then maybe I'll have a family someday.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And then
And
you
so,
meet somebody that you didn't expect to meet sometimes. And that
yeah,
kind of opens up possibilities that
yeah,
you didn't consider in the same way at the
yeah.
same time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, to allow teens their phases. So I know
Mm-hmm.
none of my kids, when they were going through high school, were saying to me as a high value, I can't wait to have my first kid.
Yeah. Right. Right.
Yeah.
My hubby and I used to say, do you think we'll get any grandkids?
Yeah.
Like, who knows? But we are
Yeah.
getting one. We got one on the way. Um, but yeah, right. It's just, it
Congratulations.
wasn't on their radar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so, that, but some kids know. And so let's
Hmm.
say you have a kid that says, I really, really want to be married and have a family. That's a value. And then that
Hmm.
helps set other values. So
Mm.
if you have a kid, like I used to, when I was academic advisor for our local homeschoolers, and I had a kid that wanted to, I just want to be a mom, I just want to get married. And so they spent their time
Mm.
preparing for home economics and how to be a good mom, but their whole world of connecting with the human race was their home. Yeah, and
Hmm.
little peripheral church stuff, but not
Right.
much.
Yeah.
And so I would ask them, so how are you going to meet a husband
Yeah. Right.
if all you're doing is home making jelly? And
Yeah.
so we would talk about, praying about, okay, then what are values for being connected
Mm.
and open so that God can direct your path? Because if you're not in movement, it's hard
Hmm.
for God to direct what the path is.
Right.
So,
Yeah. Yeah. We were actually talking the other day. We know some students who that was their focus in high school, and that's exactly what we saw is they really didn't open themselves up to opportunities, and now so that was you don't think of that as a part of that process,
yeah,
but yeah, now they're still
yeah,
looking for the right person,
yeah.
and they were all prepared, but they were very
Have
focused
have the
inward.
have the skills for after it happens, but
Hmm.
there we have to make ourselves available to God
Yeah. Right.
for the process.
Yes,
Hi, Facebook
exactly.
user.
Yeah. Oh, hello there.
Yeah. StreamYard is
Yeah.
telling us only Facebook users. So
Oh, I'm so
anyway.
glad that you like the topic too. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
kind of,
thank you.
yeah. What are
Yeah,
some other values, Vicki? You do a lot of work with students in different ages and stages that are going
yeah.
through,
I,
and you
I
have your own coaching
yeah.
program. So what do you
One of
see?
my top values, one absolutely like absolutely is what are their financial values?
Mm-hmm.
And
Yep. Yep.
teenagers, I mean, they're young, they don't know, and so a lot of teens will think about, I need my own house, I got a yard, I got this kind of car, it's going to be really cool.
I want to
And
go on
then
these vacations. Yep.
yeah,
Yep.
I got, yeah, and so they have a lifestyle that would require $100,000 income,
Mm-hmm.
and then they're going to college. Bless them. Please do this anyway. And studying to be a counselor who
I
will
knew it was
never
coming.
make that income.
Right.
And
Yep.
so please go in the field anyway if God's calling you, and we'll just
Oh,
adjust
please
the
do.
lifestyle
Yes.
thereby. But anyway, one of the most important gifts you can give a kid is the value of understanding what stuff and lifestyle they need to clarify, write it
Mm-hmm.
down,
Yes.
and then to compare it to salaries that are available. Like, let's explore different careers. And so you go to Career One Stop and look at this career and that career. And one of the very best things you can do to facilitate then how would you get to $100,000 career? So
Mm-hmm.
you got these goals, these things you'd really like to happen. How are you going to get it? Well, you better find out what a budget is. And so, in order to really have a realistic look at how you obtain that lifestyle, like how much does a house with 4 bedrooms and suburban,
And a
big
swimming
car,
pool and a
yeah,
right,
and then you're
whatever it
going
is.
on 3 vacations to Disney World every year, like they're teens, they don't know. And so
And
you
it
sit down and explore, how do you make a budget and plan for the present and the future and all that.
right. And I always tell my students, like, so I do a little mini shameless plug. I with our local homeschoolers, a lot of times I use Vicky's homeschool, I'm sorry, Vicky's career development piece. And she goes through all these values in that piece. And I tell the students, like, it is not bad to want a big home with a swimming pool and 4-car garage and the trips to Disney. That's not a bad thing. It's like what's in your heart and what do you want to do with that can be good or bad. And the same thing you could do with living in a 1-bedroom house or an apartment. It's so sometimes I think as Christians we end up getting a little bit trapped in, oh, I should live very frugally and all that. And it's all what, but it's important to know it and just acknowledge that and don't
Yeah.
deny if that's what's really
Yeah.
in your heart, because if you deny it and then you get somewhere and then you kind of later on you're
Yeah.
like, oh wow,
Yeah.
then there's a difference between denying it and just not knowing it right now too.
Right. And
And that's
it is an unfolding process. But I tell you,
yeah.
one of the best things that, especially by the time my youngest was in high school, our sister Sarah had captured her financial literacy course that she'd been teaching the local kids forever, put it in print. And my son did that. I can't remember, I think like 10th grade.
Mm-hmm.
And that kid started to understand budgets and thinking for the future and figuring things out, and it helped him choose his college major and the lifestyle that would meet a job he could stand.
Mm-hmm.
And took him out of one, like he says he's a elementary music teacher, so he's not going to be filthy rich. He's not going to have a house with a pool. That wasn't a value for him.
Mm-hmm.
All right. But he can have a house and a wife, and I'm sure somewhere along the way they'll have kids.
Yeah.
And but he's also investing in one of his values that he learned as he went through. He loves music. They also love community music, sharing music together. And so this gives him the perfect setting. So he hit his little Venn diagram, but it really took a piece of that was knowing financially what was wise. So he couldn't just be a busker, singing songs on the street corner and people throwing. I mean, that's fun, but that just wasn't going to meet his value system because he knew what he was kind of aiming for. So anyway, all right.
There you go.
I got clients waiting on me.
There you go. Oh, well, we better wrap it up. We have so much more to talk about on this whole career stuff. So we will definitely have some more episodes on this very topic. We'll tweak it and move along a little bit. But absolutely, yeah.
So, well, we'll see everybody next week, and I will, as soon as I get a break this morning, I'll put links to the post I have on values from the website, and people can explore that some more.
Yeah. All right. And link your career development, your career exploration stuff, and Sarah's financial lit too.
Oh my gosh. That's
it's amazing. That's amazing. Yeah.
All right, ladies.
All right. Thank you so much.
All right,
see ya. Have a great day.